Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Generational Wealth Reader Circle. Mm. Brought to you by Total Life Changes, Delgada Coffee. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Generational Wealth Reader Circle. We're going to get started in about 1 minute here. So I'm going to ask you to just bear with me just a moment, and we will get this party started. Yes, we will. There we go. All right. So we got about a minute and we'll get going. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome. Okay. We're now broadcasting not just through Facebook, but on YouTube, LinkedIn as well, Instagram as well. And about ready to branch out. As a matter of fact, in the next 2 weeks, we're going to be launching a show that you'll be able to see on YouTube. And it's going to be a short, it's like 15 minutes of inspiration and success education. And then when I say success, not just in business, but in different areas of life. I went to the doctor yesterday to get my annual physical. Blood pressure was phenomenal. The Just phenomenal, man. I think it was like 124 over 80 or something like that. But and then everything else checked out just fine. It's beautiful, and really excited about that. So I'm feeling fantastic. Lost 12 pounds, and that's a good thing too. So yeah, we're working at it. We are working on it. Um, I want to let you guys know that we're going to talk today about giving, and we're going to talk about different areas of consciousness and unmet expectations, and how to tie the thread between giving and unmet expectations, and how we move into the space where those two meet. So that means the expectations can be met, and the giving can be increased abundantly. Uh, in my life, um, I've been very fortunate to have had some phenomenal times and experiences. And I've been very fortunate to have some tough times because all those things together have kind of shaped me and given me a perspective. But giving, it was really a part of my heartstrings. And that's why we pick about seven charities and organizations that through our foundation that we support. And we really don't go outside of it that much because if we do, we're taking away from the other charities we committed to, or we take away from our families, you know. But we want to encourage everyone else to live the best life they possibly can, and remember that your success can be somebody else's miracle because through that we can help other people. As the Baron of St. James of Cappadocia and the Royal House of the Sovereign House of Cappadocia, Constantine the Great, and St. Helen. I was knighted for philanthropy and in business, and as just part of who I am and who I really want to be. And not perfect, but just trying our best to become better and to make a stark difference and inspire other people. To identify your gold medal talent, and identify what it is you really do well, what you can contribute to humanity, which is also a contribution to your family and to your legacy. So, to put all those things together is really about how do we posture and position ourselves that we can make life just a little bit better for the people who come after us and the people who are all around us. It's really a great feeling. And I was on Mo Rock's LA Tribune show last night, and the topic was empathy and leadership, empathy. And Mo Rock is the CEO of the LA Tribune, great friend of mine, a phenomenal human being. He's also a recipient of the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. And he made some statements yesterday, and he said there's a difference between being kind and being respectful and having empathy and being nice. He concluded that in his company, it's not about being nice; it's about being business, but to be kind, to be respectful, to listen. And there's nothing wrong with being nice, but They say nice people finish last. They say nice guys finish last, actually. But sometimes they get trampled over a little bit. And but to be kind is it's really kind of two different things. Even it might be seem like you're playing with semantics there. But I start thinking about that during the night. So yeah, yeah. And there's some places you can just be nice. Okay. But when you're kind, it's a foundation of something even more. So, in my opinion. So we're going to be talking about the 52 Shades of Inspiration again, and we're going to bounce back and forth from that to the Observer's Chair. And the 52 Shades of Inspiration is written by Michael Bart Matthews. The subtitle is Powered by Your Thoughts. And then The Observer's Chair is written by David Blanchard, who is the founder of the Augmandino Leadership Institute. He and his son Paul do a phenomenal job making a difference in the lives of so many people. So we're going to read from both of these books. I do want to let you know that the Limitless Experience in Chicago will be actually held on May 10th and 11th, and it's going to be at the Oak Brook Hyatt Lodge Conference Center. So the Hyatt Lodge Hotel is on the first building, and the conference center is the second building. It used to be owned, the entire property was owned by McDonald's. It used to be the McDonald's University. And then John Paul LaJoya brought that. He used to own Patron and Mitchell Hair Products. And now it's turned over to another big corporation. But they just do a fantastic job. So we'll be in the conference center, and you'll be able to go to alwayslimitless.com and get registered there. This weekend, we're going to have our mastermind. And then there's also a major 19 investiture with the Royal House happening in Miami this weekend as well. And that's being held up and led by the amazing Dame and Grand Prior of Florida, Dee Dee Wong, and her incredible team. And the U.S. Grand Prior of the entire country, Baron Alex Stern. So it's going to be a phenomenal event. I can't wait to give you back reports from the event. I won't be able to go because I already had a commitment as our events were planned last year. But we have something big coming up in Chicago in June. So you're invited. I'll be giving to give you a lot of information. But to witness that and be in the room is something very special with some wonderful people. And it's one of those things. It's like a once in a lifetime experience. It really, really is. So we're going to do some great things. And since we're talking about giving on June 16th, we're going to have the Father's Day Royal Charity Gala. And we're going to be honoring dads there. And moms, you're all invited too. It's not about just men, but it's a charity gala. We're going to raise money for about 6 charities, maybe 7. And there are going to be a few people who will receive the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award there on this Sunday as the people that will be knighted as knights and dames of the Royal Order. That will happen on Saturday. So let me hop to it. I'm going to start with David Blanchard's book, The Observer's Chair. And with a green screen, I'm not going to hold it up because, it kind of fades out of there. So I want to talk about unmet expectations. Okay, this is from Augmandino's words. My dreams are worthless. My plans are dust. My goals are impossible. All are of no value unless they are followed by action. I will act now. You know, when you read the writings of Augmandino is always calling people to action, and he's always making the point that when you're taking action towards your goals and your dreams, those are the people who really get it done. Those are the people who separate themselves from the people who just wish it was better. The people that pray and don't get up. Faith without work is dead. So he says, my dreams are worthless. My plans are dust. My goals are impossible. All of them are of no value unless they are followed by action. I will act now. Augmandino. The intentional creation of our dreams occurs in two very different yet equally important dimensions. First, in our mind, and second, in the physical world. We engage in mental creation using the essential and very powerful gift of vivid visualization. Remember, everything in life happens 2 times. It is the thought, then the thing, the mental, then the physical, the inner, and then the outer. Okay? So, the intentional creation of your dreams occurs in 2 dimensions, in the mind and then in the physical. Okay, the thought, and then you manifest. Thou shalt decree a thing, it shall then be established unto you, and it will accomplish that to where it has been sent. Challenges with self-worth occur when we choose to move to that chair over there and allow this gift to be used destructively. Now, it says that chair over there. So if you haven't been keeping up and you haven't really connected the dot or did not purchase the book, is that chair over there illustrates the chair where you make decisions based upon habit, based upon rituals. It's something internal that you're not even conscious that you're doing it. Okay, and that's where you get into a lot of confusion, challenges. That's where you lose your cool, your posture, your composure. You get out of sorts with who you are, who you really want to be. We've all done that. Sometimes you say something you wish you hadn't said it or done something. Say you wish you hadn't done it. We talk about that, and then there's the observer's chair. The observer's chair is that chair of absolute clarity, of harmony, of agreement. When you on path and purpose, you're in what we call a zone. I like to call it a state of click. Everything's better. I want to talk before we go about how to really get there. Okay. The most common destructive use of vivid visualization include escape and avoid fantasy, fatigue driven pessimism. Okay, obligation, the need to be right, the need to be right, and counterfeit forms of pleasure. Wow, that's a mouthful. When our secret desires and real intentions are focused on a life of ease and comfort or arrival, and life keeps showing up differently, then these destructive uses of this gift are natural. It's a natural default. When we want a more exotic or exciting life, we seek counterfeit forms of mental pleasure, such as pornography. We can also become a slave to these destructive thoughts. The more difficult or mundane our life circumstances, the more likely we are to be captured by these destructive habits of thinking. The more likely we are to unconsciously surrender our free will to that chair over there. Okay. So it says the more difficult and mundane our life circumstances, the more likely we are to be captured. When life gets boring, when you don't want to do the hard stuff, when you are working your tail off and you're getting no results, then to cope, we go to that chair over there. We try to find ways to escape and avoid fantasy. Next chapter, next verse. Escape and avoid fantasy. When we experience a traumatic event or a series of events that are beyond our ability to understand, comprehend, or control, we may develop coping skills that assist us in surviving. We may venture out there just long enough to get the job done while attempting to appear normal, but never long enough to get hurt again. Okay. So sometimes we kind of go to a space and then come back just to breathe, to cope, to be able to deal with these. These are called part of human defense mechanisms. Okay. Something happens and we respond a certain way. Some people smoke cigarettes. Some people smoke other things or do drugs or use alcohol or use sex or use gambling or use something to avoid and escape. Uh, and then they go in and then they come back and they're able to deal. Okay. Um, the most effective coping skill I found as a child was escaping into my mind. I remember Tyler Perry said the same thing. If you ever seen his documentary, here I was safe and in control. As one colleague said while commiserating, growing up, some of my favorite people were imaginary characters. So true. If we ever have a traumatic event, it is quite normal to use the gift of the vivid imagination as an escape mechanism. It is also not too difficult to connect the dots between the creation of this imagination and the natural default to engage in escape and avoid fantasy. Okay? Back then, it was all about safety. Now it's all about ease and comfort in a less stressful life. We need not have a traumatic event in order to surrender to this unhealthy habit. We may simply be struggling with the current firestorms of life. In today's economy, these challenges can at times be merciless, seeking relief. We may be tempted to engage in escape and avoid fantasy just to get away from these heavy burdens. It is so easy to do. It is so euphoric at first. Then we go over there and sit in that chair and indulge. The brain um, has different mechanisms that are designed to protect, but sometimes they can end up with a destructive outcome. When you see something that you lust after or you get excited about, or you can be in a very happy situation, and the part of the brain it releases all these powerful endorphins that makes you want to go over there. Just like, for example, you can get something new or get a new relationship or whatever it could be that gets you excited, even a home, and you're fired up and you find yourself taking really good care and tending to that car, that relationship, that home, whatever that may be, or going to work early every single day. After a while, these chemicals kind of die down, and then you find yourself drifting, so to speak. Uh, the phenomenon of drifting. You can read about that in a book by Napoleon Hill, but actually written by Sharon Lecter called "Outwitting the Devil." Drifting. How do you get in that other chair? We drift a little bit because you're driven by these endorphins and what you're excited about. See, it's always exciting when things are new, but after a while, it's just another thing. You get a new car and you're polishing your car. And nobody can eat in your car, and you get in the car service. And after a few years, you got French fries in the back seat. Somebody burned a cigarette hole in your seat. Uh, you just forget about the check engine light; it doesn't even exist, and you just drive in the car. We do that with other relationships as well. That means we're sitting in that other chair over there, not the chair, the observer's chair, the chair of clarity. Okay, so eventually, it's a euphoric chemical in your body, in your brain, that causes you to be driven towards that, to lust after it, to be in love with it. But after a while, that goes away. And now you have to do it intentionally. Now you can no longer operate just on your conscious mind. You have to operate and put it in your subconscious. So that becomes a new habit. Okay. Um, yeah, because we tend to drift as human beings. And it's just a natural occurrence if you don't know what's happening, and then you think you want something else or something new, or you don't value the thing that was most important to you initially. Okay. Now, some people can hold on for a little while, and some a little while longer. But the people who succeed and the people who win and live in a euphoric life and stay happy and on path and purpose, well, they stay locked in for as long as it takes for them to win, as long as it takes, and then some. And as long as it takes, it could be a lifetime. Okay, some may not fully appreciate the relationship between effort and result and want to believe there's actually an easy way. They want to believe there's a fantasy fairy that will magically manifest their wishes in tangible reality if they but visualize their dream with enough intention. They're just going to wish it there, right? Like boing, like I dream of genie. There are more than a few out there trying to sell easy buttons. Have you ever tried to buy one? If so, you too have felt buyer's remorse. It happened a lot, not just with cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. It happened a lot there, though. Everybody saw an easy way because it was on the rise and it was so exciting. And people were showing up and they had these luxury cars. I knew some kids that, had like $300 million worth of Bitcoin and crypto. And then 3 weeks later, they were selling everything that they brought. And it's easy to get kind of caught up in that euphoric thing. And I'm not saying don't invest in things. I'm saying that sometimes when you're following the leader, you have to step back and do some due diligence before you just jump out there, because there's a lot of easy buttons, and so many people, they don't want to do the work because it's not about the achievement, especially when it comes to money. It's about who you have to become in order to create it and sustain it. Always being pulled back towards your natural habitat, being back to what you know. So it's always this battle not to return and go back to the chair over there that got you in the mess in the first place. See, we think we can, get money or get success or get some freedom or get a title or get some recognition, and then it's solved. No, there's always a force that can bring you back. Do you know that 70% of lottery winners, within 7 months to 2 years, they're worse off there before they even won millions or even tens of millions of dollars. Whether it be a traumatic event, a firestorm, or the pursuit of ease that drives a desire to escape and avoid, when we engage in fantasy, we commence a journey that can destroy our self worth. We start by traveling in our minds to a future event or desired outcome. We then begin playing out vivid visual scenarios as if this event or outcome has already occurred. The vividness with which many are capable of visualizing these future events trigger the same brain chemistry and brain circuitry present if and when we actually experience these outcomes in tangible reality. The brain creates what neuroscientists call a mental construct. We have constructed a new reality in our mind. Bottom line, the brain believes fantasy is real. Our body responds with feelings of euphoric and sometimes even tears of joy. Hmm. While in fantasy, we can visualize an early evening flight to France, perhaps on our private jet, 2 weeks in the Caribbean, sunbathing and scuba diving. We can purchase and decorate our luxurious oceanfront home in Malibu. We buy a tropical island in the Pacific. We can pay off our parents' mortgage, buy new cars for our siblings, and donate millions to worthy causes. On the other hand, we can simply put this gift to vividly visualize a life of ease and comfort, free of debt and stress. And we can do all this in 15 minutes. It takes the same 15 minutes it takes to take a shower, even vivid scenarios created mentally in a nanosecond. We focus on how we will spend money, not on how we will create it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey, Mr. Dreammaker. Okay. We're focusing on the outcome and not on how we're going to get there. And I think they kind of go hand in hand. I really do. It's a thought and then a thing. So if you think about your dream car or the dream vacation, think about your dream life. Money is not an issue, and time is not an issue. Because once you get on the other side of money, you can get your time back, and then you can be focused on the things that will give you what it is you truly want. But the first thing we have to do is get on the other side. So that's why we make this the phrase, we coined the phrase, you work part-time on your fortune and full-time on your job, on your living. But it's what you do after the 9 to 5 that makes the grade. Because, and I'll tell you, I learned this in 94. I was told this, and I was seeking all of my life trying to be financially free. And I made a lot of money, but I found ways to go right back to the other chair, because I got the life, but I didn't uh, anchor the person. I didn't create the new foundation strong enough. So the foundation was shaky. So I would make millions of dollars and then go back and lose it. And then I make millions of dollars and then go back and lose it. And then I was so tired of losing it again. And like, oh my God, I can't believe again. And now I'm back working. And some people give up. They don't want to go any further. They're tired. They don't think they have anything left in them. And I'll tell you, yes, you do. Yes, you do. You're built to survive. You're built to thrive. You're built to seek life and seek life more abundantly in every cell in your body because you have cells inside of you that are smarter than just you using your brain a lot. So there's always more. There is a memory there that comes from your forefathers and foremothers, your people, okay, that's destined to survive, to make it through this crisis, to get to the next situation, to find joy no matter what the situation may be, to dream of the possibility that that life that you see outside of you, you can create it, but you create it first inside to knowing, just the point of knowing. So I remember going through this, and when I got some mentorship in 1994, and I had a lot of lessons. I had a lot of people around me that were mentors. I just didn't know they were mentors. Okay, but when I really got mentorship, um, it opened up a new possibility for me because I had to get with people who thought a little differently than I thought. And when somebody's outside of you, then they can see things you can't see because we have blind spots. Even the best players in the sports of your choosing, they have a mentor, they have a coach, they have other coaches that get them ready, to get them there, to keep them focused, to give them the play, to give them another perspective. And they don't even have to agree with these people sometimes. Okay. But they have to surrender to the coach. You know, the coach won't stay. Okay. Because perhaps the coach has seen something that you really can't see right now. Okay. So when you're building out your dreams and goals and you're studying and working on becoming better, get a dream of what it is you want, the life you want to create. You can visualize that. But visualization in itself is like smoke. It's nothing. You have to visualize that and then put yourself in a state. How will you feel when you're already over that side? How does it feel? You can close your eyes right now and put yourself on a sandy beach with bright sun beaming down. You can visualize feeling the heat and you will feel that heat. You can visualize money raining from the sky in your mind. You can see it rain. But more importantly, you have to visualize you doing the work, that you're doing the work. That do what is hard until you fall in love with it. You do what is hard, you have an easy life. You do what is easy, you will have a hard life. And that's what it's talking about. Sitting in a chair over there, looking for the easy way out. One way to anchor yourself is in giving. Bill and Melinda Gates and Warren Buffett, together they launched a campaign to encourage, not legally binding, but they want to encourage every billionaire around the world to pledge to give away at least 50% of their wealth to charitable causes during their lifetime and upon their death. These are individuals who are worth over billion dollars. $100 billion. You give away 50% of your wealth, you still got $50 billion. You could spend that in several lifetimes, and you can do whatever you want to do. Okay. How is it that someone can make $100 billion, have a down year and lose 20 or 30 billion, and go make it again? How does Elon Musk get to over $200 billion, invest in Twitter and 44 billion, and then it flops around, spend all this money on rockets and they blow up? Some of them didn't work and some of them still don't work, but they learn from that and they go back in there and they increase their wealth, even though they make major mistakes or big traumatic things happen. Just imagine you invest in a company and you lose 44 billion. You see, we spaz out if we lose 10,000. Okay. So we have to elevate our dreams and our expectations about what we want. And it's not about chasing money. It has nothing to do with it. It's about expression. Because what you can give to humanity, first of all, is an example and a story that it can be done. That you can stretch beyond what people think the limits are. Okay. We pledge to give. Our word is philanthropy, and we pledge to give, resulting in service to others from our determination and sheer will. We pledge to give away at least one half of our wealth while trying to improve the world's overall health. The act of generosity from the art of giving, allowing others to experience a much better living. Because our social consciousness and brotherly love, the gifts that we all provide all come from above. From Michael Bloomberg to Ted Turner, they represent billion-dollar earners. From Warren Buffett to Bill and Melinda Gates, philanthropy and service are heavy on their plates. From Richard Branson to Paul Allen, they help to ease one transitional challenge. From Barron Hilton to David Rockefeller, their philanthropic giving pledge is one of proper measure. Add Mark Zuckerberg and Dr. Priscilla Chan, serving the world together, they all stand. Michael Bart Matthews. All right. Week 8, they have an exercise in the book. It says, write in your journal. Okay. And Webster's definition of philanthropy: goodwill to fellow members of the human race, especially active efforts to promote human welfare. Now, people say, well, how can I give? And I'm in need myself. I don't really have anything to give. You always have something to give. Give up some of your time. You can give up some of your expertise, some of the experience you have, some of the resources you have, some of the relationships that you have that you can give. Now, I'm going to have to spool it up. Give me 1 second. I think I'm a little frozen. All right. I hope that you can hear me. I don't know if you can. I am frozen here. Part of the issue is that I am on two internets. So one of my devices can hear me. So I think you might can or you can read along. Okay. I will become more socially conscious and spirited through giving and philanthropy. I will find a creative cause near to my heart and give my time, product, service, or financial support, even though I may not be a billionaire. Start your own give back program. When you go to the grocery store, get one extra can of soup, get an extra box of rice. You know, you can give it away. You don't have to start a 501c3, but you can. If you're out there trying to help yourself, other people will join you. Other people will join you. The point of this, whosoever sows sparingly will reap sparingly, and whosoever sows bountifully will reap bountifully. Okay. And give with gratitude. Give with gratitude, Giving is a part of the reaping and sowing process. To give, you will reap what it is you sow. You sow not, so you reap not. Okay. Don't let your circumstance distract you or deter you of what you can or cannot do. Now, I'm looking at my screen and I am frozen over here. So I've got to figure out where we want to go here because the live is not moving according to my ticker. So I'm going to come out of here. I'm going to cancel this. And then I'm going to come back in another way. Yep. I see we got a problem. My team was asking me to come in this way. And since I'm doing this, I'm going to go back to the way that I know. So I'll be right back with you in just a moment. Peace. I can't even shut it down and stop it. Okay. Let's see if I can get here. Hmm. Okay. All right. We're going to try this then. Okay. I'm going to try going this way. All right. So you guys should be able to see me now. And I'll just finish up from the phone. I was on live through my computer, and I see that we've lost a lot of internet connection. So my apologies for that. And some of you all may be still on another feed and still can't see me. But I just want to kind of conclude with this one without taking too long this morning. There is a connection between building something great and creating the wealth as you understand it and giving. Just as a teacher, the reward that she gets when she gives of herself and buys supplies out of her check, even though she may feel underpaid, or he, and they get the supplies they need to make sure their children have what is necessary for them to teach the lesson that they want to get across. Okay, it's a lot of ways to give. There are givers all around us. There's givers all around us. Now, forgive this, you're looking at my ceiling, but I can't help it right now because I was ready to do this online and not on this, uh, on the phone. So I was doing it on through the computer, but that's okay. Let me close this out. Okay, and there.